Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. The Warriors are also interested in Malcolm Brogdon, who is a player with defensive and offensive characteristics and would fit well with the Warriors stars, potentially being the sixth man, or even a starter. The Golden State Warriors are looking to get some solid veterans to round out their roster. While it doesn't look like the team is going to make any huge free agent signings, sometimes it's the little moves that make the biggest differences. Sam Amico of Hoops Wire reported that while the Warriors have been linked heavily to Al Horford and DeAnthony Melton, there are a few other players that have been on the Warriors' free agent targets list. More on Golden State radar? Beyond those two, the Warriors have also kept tabs on Malcolm Brogdon, Trey Lyles, and Gary Payton too. Additional names surfaced during Summer League conversations, including Seth Curry and Ben Simmons. A Warriors Malcolm Brogdon signing would be a pretty nice addition. The Warriors need more ball handlers. Brogdon would be a solid backup point guard for Stephen Curry. Last season, Brogdon averaged 12.7 points, 4.1 assists, and 3.8 rebounds per game for the Washington Wizards. Unfortunately, he only played in 24 games. That's why a Warriors Brogdon signing would really only make sense for the veteran minimum. Brogdon hasn't proven himself reliable enough to warrant anything more. Since his rookie season, Brogdon has only played in over 65 games once. If he's healthy, he could be a perfect fit in the Warriors system. However, that is a huge if. The Warriors have helped other oft-injured stars bounce back after down seasons. Otto Porter Jr. and Dante DiVincenzo are their most recent success stories. If Brogdon can have a similar season for the Warriors, he would be a great free agent signing. Warriors pursuing career 43% three-point shooter with deep ties to Golden State. The Golden State Warriors need to add some shooting. Stephen Curry operates best with ample space around him. The Warriors roster hasn't been able to give Curry the spacing over the last few seasons. The Warriors are hoping to remedy that this offseason. Sam Amico of Hoops Wire reported that while the Warriors have been linked heavily to Al Horford and DeAnthony Melton, there are a few other Warriors free agency targets they are considering signing. More on Golden State radar? Beyond those two, the Warriors have also kept tabs on Malcolm Brogdon, Trey Lyles, and Gary Payton too. Additional names surfaced during Summer League conversations, including Seth Curry and Ben Simmons. Getting a player like Seth Curry would be huge. The Warriors saw how successful a sharpshooting role player can be last season. Buddy Hield capitalized on the Warriors' offensive system to have a super impactful season. A Warriors Seth Curry signing could yield similar results. Seth is somehow an even more efficient three-point shooter than his brother Steph. He is 43.4% from three for his career. He shot over 45% for the Charlotte Hornets last season. The Warriors will also likely have the upper hand in landing Curry this offseason. After all, his brother is the greatest player in the Warriors franchise history. If the Warriors and Steph can convince Seth to come to Golden State, it could benefit all parties. We've seen Seth raise his game when facing off against his brother. Could a Warriors Seth Curry signing produce a career year for Steph's younger brother? Warriors untouchables in a potential LeBron James trade may shock fans. Golden State would likely give up anyone not named Draymond or Steph. Game. The Golden State Warriors have been down this road before. A star becomes available, rumors start swirling, and before long, Golden State finds itself at the center of a conversation about chasing one more title. This time, that conversation concerns LeBron James potentially joining the Warriors. And if Golden State were to make that kind of crazy move, it's likely they would be willing to give up any players not named Stephen Curry or Draymond Green. LeBron's partnership with Luka Doncic in Los Angeles never looked sustainable long-term, and the Lakers appear to be shifting toward the future whether they admit it or not. If they eventually decide to move on, the Warriors are one of the few teams that could make a serious play for James. For them to do that, it makes sense that only Curry and Green would be the untouchables. Not the younger guys like Brandon Podziemski or Moses Moody. And not even Jimmy Butler, who just arrived in February in what was supposed to be the team's final push to re-enter title contention. Curry and Green would likely be GSW's only untouchables. It's a lot to process, especially since Butler gave the team an edge it had been missing since the championship core started to fade. But he is also the one piece whose contract makes any LeBron deal possible. And if the Warriors decide they would rather roll with LeBron instead of Butler, that move could happen in a heartbeat. There is no longer a question about loyalty to the original core either. Klay Thompson is gone, and Golden State is well past the days of prioritizing sentiment over strategy. This is about giving Steph one more legitimate shot, and the front office knows what that looks like. They have pulled this off before. The idea of pairing Steph and LeBron on the same team has been floated as a possibility for many years now. It's always been the kind of wild idea that gets the fanbases of both teams riled up. And if the Warriors find themselves in position to make it happen, there is no reason to think they will let role players or long-term development stand in the way. Because at the end of the day, this is about the present. For better or for worse, Golden State knows that their best bet is go all in before the title window finally shuts, if it's not already closed. And if LeBron James is available, they're probably going to go for it. Golden State Warriors' patience is being tested in Al Horford pursuit. The Golden State Warriors have endured a slow start to the offseason. Other than losing Kevin Looney to the New Orleans Pelicans, there have been no incomings or outgoings from the Bay Area. Reports have consistently linked Al Horford with a move to Golden State, as the veteran big man weighs up his options after his deal with the Boston Celtics expired. Unfortunately, Horford's decision appears to be taking longer than expected. According to Mark J. Spears, who was speaking via a recent episode of ESPN's NBA Today, the Warriors were expecting the forward to sign with the franchise last week. Golden State expected him to sign last week, he didn't, Spears reported. The Lakers, Milwaukee, and the Atlanta, I believe, are also interested in this 40-year-old guy who also has retirement on the table. He's still considering retiring, he's not in any hurry. Horford's tenure with the Celtics appears to be over. However, there doesn't appear to be a guarantee that he will land with Steve Kerr's team ahead of the new season. The Warriors must move to get a commitment from the veteran big man, otherwise, they may need to turn their attention elsewhere. There's no denying that Horford would be a valuable addition to the Warriors' rotation. His skill set would plug multiple gaps in the current rotation and improve the roster on both sides of the floor. NBA Insider reveals Charlotte Hornets want to swoop in and steal Golden State Warriors star this offseason. The Golden State Warriors could be set to lose one of their key stars to the Charlotte Hornets if they don't act quickly. The Golden State Warriors have been remarkably quiet during this offseason. After making a big move at the deadline to land Jimmy Butler, the team has not added to its roster at all. Draymond Green told the Warriors how to build around Butler and Stephen Curry. But it appears those suggestions have fallen on deaf ears. That hasn't stopped players from making moves on their own. Kevin Looney signed with the New Orleans Pelicans as a free agent, leaving the team after nearly a decade. Add to this, the Warriors are seemingly staying put when it comes to Jonathan Kuminga. Despite Kuminga hinting at leaving the Warriors, he hasn't received any offers from other teams. The Warriors aren't willing to sign and trade Kuminga to the Sacramento Kings. But perhaps another team is ready to snatch up the 22-year-old forward. Charlotte Hornets interested in signing Jonathan Kuminga. According to NBA insider Arion X, the Charlotte Hornets are becoming a team to watch this offseason, as they look to add to their roster. He mentioned the Hornets as a team that could make a play for Golden State Warriors forward Jonathan Kuminga in the weeks to come. The Charlotte Hornets have emerged as one of the more active teams this offseason and could become a potential suitor for Warriors restricted free agent forward Jonathan Kuminga, league sources say. The Hornets already have a star-level power forward in Miles Bridges. And in the 2025 NBA draft, they also added Con Newpel to their wing depth. As things stand, it's hard to see the Hornets outright signing Kuminga. Instead, they could look to create a sign-and-trade opportunity. Golden State Warriors need to be more active in the offseason. It's getting to a point where Golden State Warriors fans are actively frustrated with their team's inactivity. Their roster is far from perfect, but the Warriors have done nothing to address their weaknesses. Brian Windhorst named Al Horford and DeAnthony Melton as imminent signings for the Warriors. But is that enough for them to remain competitive? The Warriors have one of the most dynamic duos in the NBA, pairing Stephen Curry with Jimmy Butler. But as we've seen over the last few years, a dynamic, star-studded pairing isn't enough to win the NBA championship. A roster must be complete, with depth at every position, and players who can competently play on both sides of the court. How exactly can the Warriors capitalize on the final years of Stephen Curry at the highest level if they don't surround him with the right pieces? Warriors eyeing Seth Curry and Ben Simmons as potential upgrades to their bench. The Golden State Warriors, aiming to maximize their championship window, are reportedly eyeing Ben Simmons and Seth Curry as free agent targets for the 2025-26 season. This potential move, reported by Clutch Point's Brett Siegel, could bolster the Warriors' bench depth with low-risk, high-upside additions, addressing specific roster needs while navigating tight salary cap constraints. Seth Curry, Stephen Curry's younger brother, is a 34-year-old sharpshooting guard who shot an impressive 45.6% from three-point range last season with the Charlotte Hornets, averaging 6.5 points in limited minutes. His career 43% three-point shooting makes him a natural fit for Golden State's motion-heavy offense, which thrives on perimeter shooting to complement Curry's gravity. Seth's ability to stretch the floor would provide much-needed continuity in the second unit, making up for the non-Steph minutes issue that has hindered the Warriors for some time. Seth's familiarity with high-movement systems and his prior stint with the Santa Cruz Warriors, Golden State's G League affiliate, suggest he could seamlessly integrate into Steve Kerr's schemes. Playing alongside his brother could also boost team chemistry and fan excitement, creating a unique narrative for a veteran roster. His role as a bench shooter would better preserve his big brother Stephen for playoff runs. However, Seth's limited defensive prowess and age mean he's best suited for a specialized role, not heavy minutes, making his likely minimum contract a cost-effective addition. Ben Simmons, the former number 1 overall pick, presents a riskier but intriguing option. At 28, Simmons is healthy and open to a minimum deal after averaging 5.0 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 5.6 assists across stints with the Nets and Clippers last season. His elite defensive versatility, 6 feet 10 inches with the ability to guard multiple positions, could enhance Golden State's switch-heavy defensive schemes, pairing well with Draymond Green's rim protection and playmaking. Simmons' court vision and transition passing could thrive in Kerr's system, creating open looks for Curry and Butler. However, Simmons' fit is complicated by his lack of shooting, which exacerbates spacing issues alongside Green, a non-shooter himself. Simmons and Green's overlapping skill sets, transition playmaking, defensive versatility, could clog the offense, especially with Curry drawing multiple defenders. Kerr would need to stagger their minutes or deploy Simmons as a backup center in small ball lineups, leveraging his 52% field goal shooting and passing to anchor second units. His injury history and reduced defensive confidence remain concerns, but a minimum contract mitigates risk, offering high defensive upside if he stays healthy. A healthy Simmons with this Warriors team may quickly become a fan favorite and even get the starting nod in due time. Adding Seth Curry and Simmons would address Golden State's need for bench scoring and defensive flexibility without breaking the bank. Seth provides reliable shooting, while Simmons offers playmaking and defense, though his fit requires creative coaching to manage spacing. Together, they could keep the Warriors competitive in a loaded Western Conference, maximizing the twilight of their core's careers.